When it comes to this director,
What can I say?
welcome everyone to What's It Good? My name is Bob, and tonight I got to check out the new film Trap. This is a film that's directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Now, this is a director that I've been frustrated with over the years because he's put out some of my favorite films, including Unbreakable and The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
But for every one of those, he's put out an After Earth and A Lady in the Water, and how shall I say it?
I was again frustrated by failure.
But lately, he's had somewhat of a career resurgence, and the trailer actually looked pretty intriguing to me, so I went ahead and checked it out. Now, before I get into the review, I do want to let you know there might be some minor spoilers. I'm going to try to limit it to what's only in the trailer, but there might be some minor spoilers, so I do want to give you a warning. Now, if you've seen the film, I'd like to know what you thought about it. Why don't you go ahead and share your comments in the comment section below? Let me know what you thought. Are you a fan of M. Night Shyamalan's? Did you like the film overall? I'd really like to know what you're thinking. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. While Cooper Adams is treating his teenage daughter to a pop concert, he notices an unusually high police presence around the concert venue. Cooper learns that the FBI believes that a serial killer known as the Butcher is in attendance and is using the concert as a trap to catch him. As Cooper is revealed to be the Butcher, he begins trying to devise a way to escape this elaborate trap without letting his daughter know that something is wrong. Now, as I said before, I've been very frustrated with M. Night Shyamalan's films. He's had several good ones and he's had several misses. And I think that this film is very much a representation of his career, as I think that it is very hit or miss. There are parts of it I think that are really good and other parts not quite so much. First off, I found the concept to be very intriguing, and for the first half of the film, it was executed very well. I actually like this idea of the serial killer living this everyday life and nobody seems to know what's going on or who he is really behind the scenes. Everybody thinks he's this everyday dad who's telling cheesy jokes to his daughter, and of course it gets revealed that he's this serial killer and that the FBI has set this trap for him. And because the film is told from his perspective, especially during that first half, you're almost rooting for him, not because you necessarily want to see him get away, but it almost feels like if they catch him, they're catching you. So you're looking for a way out as well. And as he's trying to devise a way and looking for ways that he could possibly get out, you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, maybe he can do this, or maybe he can do that. And so I found that to be a very intriguing concept. And again, for the first half of the film, I think it was executed very well. Another thing that helps with the execution is the performance by Josh Hartnett. It was really nice to have him back in a leading role. I know it's been a while since he's been in one, and he's had a little bit of a career resurgence as of late, and so I really enjoyed him in this film. He brings the right amount of cringe as far as being that everyday dad who's trying to have fun with his daughter, and he brings a creepiness to where you know that something is off, and I think he was very believable as this serial killer. He delivers a great performance. Ariel Donahue plays Riley. This is Cooper's daughter, and she has that excitement of being at her favorite pop star's concert, and she brings this enthusiasm, and I think she did a really good job in the role, as well as playing somebody who was oblivious to what was going on. Seleka Shyamalan plays Lady Raven, and this is the pop star, and she's played by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. And she is an actual singer in real life. And I think she did really well with the songs and the pop star performance. I also like the fact that she wrote 14 different songs for this film. So you can tell she's extremely talented. And I think she brought that pop star vibe as far as it came to, as far as when it came to the singing. I think she did a pretty good job on that aspect of it. Now, although I really liked the first half of the film, the second half of the film is where it started falling off faster than a Disney villain falls to their death. And that was very frustrating for me because I was really enjoying myself in the first half of the film. I thought it was a pretty good thriller. And then at some point in the halfway point, it starts to become something a little bit different. And you really have to suspend your disbelief the way events unfold. I just found it to be very unbelievable. And I found myself rolling my eyes at certain things. So that last half was a little rough to watch. Now, I do think it recovers in the last 10 to 15 minutes, which I thought were pretty good. But that halfway point on are pretty rough to watch. Also, you get some of Shyamalan's worst tendencies when it comes to the way he writes dialogue. He gives characters this clunky dialogue to deliver and a lot of exposition. And as they're delivering the exposition, it just takes you out of the situation. You're thinking to yourself, why didn't you just show me this instead of telling me this? Also, I think that the way it's written actually affects some of the acting performances, specifically with Seleka Shyamalan. I think she did a great job with the singing portion, as I already said. She's very talented from that aspect, but there was a big acting discrepancy between her and Josh Hartnett, and they were supposed to act off of each other, and it really shows the difference between the two. And I think a lot of that had to do with the way that the dialogue is written. Now, it could just be her acting performance, but I think that the dialogue actually played into that. Also, I think there were two big missed opportunities. There's this these flashbacks and stuff that the Cooper's character is dealing with, and I don't think that they really went anywhere with it. And I say flashbacks; they might be more hallucinations, but I don't think that they went really anywhere with it. They were just kind of there. And then the great Haley Mills plays Dr. Grant, who's this kind of serial killer profiler for the FBI. And I think there was a good opportunity there to have kind of this cat and mouse game between the two as he's trying to escape and she's trying to catch him. But they didn't really go anywhere with that. Her character was just kind of there. And I think that that was a wasted opportunity. These were several of the things that just I found to be very frustrating with this film. Now, as far as my overall thoughts, was it good? I think this was a decent movie for the most part. It has a great performance by Josh Hartnett, and it was good to see him back in a leading role. And like I said, the first half of it was a pretty good thriller, and I enjoyed that last 10 to 15 minutes of it. It's just that middle portion on towards the end where it kind of fell off for me. But for the most part, I found it to be a decent movie, and I would watch it again. It's not Shyamalan's best, but it is far from his worst. I'm curious to see what the general audience thinks about it. Are they going to like it overall? Are they going to dislike it? Or are they going to be mixed on this one? We'll see what happens. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.